Hi everyone, welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. So I have actually what I'm going to make today. You can either do this as a side dish or you could make it a main dish just by adding a protein. So if you want to add chicken or shrimp, but basically it's going to be Brussels sprouts and spaghetti. What a concept. But I've got some nice little things here to kind of mix it up for you. So the first thing we're going to do, I've got my skillet going, and by the way, my spaghetti is cooking in the back. So I've got my skillet, and to the skillet, I'm going to add just some butter. So in the butter, to the butter, I'm going to add my panko, or this is like crushed breadcrumbs, another way to call it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to brown this, let this butter do its thing. We're going to let it brown. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add to this some chives. Now actually this episode you're going to see some of my favorite little tools. So one of the things that I've done already, and I'll show you how you can do it if you don't have the same equipment, but I've actually taken like 4 ounces or kind of a half bag of Brussels sprouts, and I use my Vitamix. I mean, I use this often to chop up food. It's perfect for this particular dish. So I actually did that beforehand, but I'm going to show you, just if you don't have a Vitamix or you don't have a food processor, I left one of the Brussels sprouts out just to chop it up so you would see kind of the texture that I'm wanting you to have with it, okay? So that's part of why I did that. All right, so if you can see, I'm hoping you can, it's browning here because otherwise this is kind of a tan color. So we're gonna let that do its thing, continue to brown. And to that, I'm going to add my chives, okay? So yes, here's another one of my little favorite tools. It's a great way to chop up herbs or little things like this. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's kind of like 4 scissors in one. It's kind of how it is. So remember, all of the not only ingredients and measurements are in the description, but then also whenever I use any kind of tool or anything like that, or if there's a specific product I just highly recommend, it'll be in the description, okay? So I'm going kind of fast here. Part of it is because my panko is doing its thing. Okay, so we've got all of that out. Let's do that. Let's return to now stir this up with the chives. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to just let it brown just a little bit more. What I'm going to do, as I said, I'm going to put this aside, and this will really kind of serve almost like our topping. Once we get the Brussels sprouts and the spaghetti all together, then we'll add this and some nice cheesy kind of cream sauce to it, okay? And you can do all kinds of things. If you want to, you know, use like an Alfredo sauce or something like that, you certainly can. So I'm gonna just dump this in here like so, and we're gonna put this aside. We do this first because we've got to get this out of the way. It's cooked first, but it's actually put on last. All right, so we have this out of our way. Let's put this down. And I kept a paper towel over here because I just want to wipe this out just a little bit. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add just a drizzle of olive oil to our pan here. Just a little drizzle, okay? And we'll just kind of stir this around a little bit like so. Since this is already hot, I'm going to go on and add the Brussels sprouts that I chopped up already. Again, just very nicely done. Just beautiful, beautiful. And here I'm going to show you also what this looks like. Now I've got a little secret ingredient. We're going to actually add some chili flakes. So it's going to add a nice little taste to it. So what I wanted to do here, let's get these things out of the way, all the stuff out of the way, is show you that if in fact you didn't have a mixer, you need to cut it up. I just want you to get the sense for how that should, the Brussels sprout should look. So I'm gonna just stir this around a little bit. Okay, now while that's doing that, let's take our knife, and I've already cut the back off and cleaned it. So you're really almost going to kind of shred it, okay? That's really kind of what you're after, a shredded Brussels sprout. And again, the nice thing is, yes, my Vitamix does it for me. Okay, we're gonna get all of this stuff out of the way. All of this out of the way. We'll keep this here. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. And we are also going to add our chili flakes, okay? So I'm gonna add those. So it depends upon how much you want. You could do a pinch of it, a teaspoon, whatever you want. Just depends upon how spicy you like your food, or guess what? You don't have to have it at all. Okay, so we're gonna just continue to let this cook for a bit, and then we're going to switch over and we're gonna prepare the sauce, because I would say the spaghetti is ready to be mixed in, okay? So we'll come back shortly. All right, so the Brussels sprouts has finished cooking. It's sitting over here right now just because I've got a lot going on here, as you can see. What we're gonna do now is make the sauce. So this is actually a cup of the water that I reserved from cooking the spaghetti. I've got that going. Then we're gonna add, this is actually a little mixture of mozzarella cheese and milk. And I'm using almond milk here. And this is really kind of just to add a little creaminess to it. And then we also have some cream cheese. So we're gonna let these do its thing, kind of melt here, get a little creamy. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to then start adding the spaghetti, adding the Brussels sprouts to the sauce. So I just need this to get a little bit on the creamy side. So let me just take this and stir this a little bit. And you notice I have a pretty, large size bowl, because it's like everything is coming together now. And I'd rather have more space than less space. So this is coming out nice. We're gonna let it kind of do its thing here. And what I will do, as it's kind of thickening up, it's looking good, it's looking good. Just needs to boil a little bit. We're gonna then add our spaghetti, then our Brussels sprouts. Yes, this is looking good. So notice I'm just kind of continuously stirring this. The heat is on high right now. If I were cooking it on my stove, I'd likely have this on medium, but since this kind of cooking station here is a little, special, I usually put it on high. All right, this is good. It's just kind of, you're just making it creamy. That's all you're doing. So now that we've done that, let's go on and add the spaghetti to the dish, okay, to the sauce. And we're going to also add now the Brussels sprouts, and it looks like I've got multiple utensils here. Not a problem. So we're going to add in now the Brussels sprouts. And I'm going to stir this up a little bit. And then we're going to add some other really nice ingredients. Now I need to turn this down because I don't want the cream to overcook, right? Because I still have some other things I need to add. So again, medium would be best. All right. Oh, that smells so good. Now what's going to really surprise you with this is we're going to be adding some lemon juice and fresh lemon juice. And that's just going to add a totally different kind of flair to it. First we're going to do is we're going to zest it. So we're going to zest the whole thing, but I'm only going to put half of it in here. We're going to put the other half on top. So just zest it. Again, this is my favorite zester. Look in the description if you want to. Oops. Sorry about that. If you want to purchase one of these, all these things you can get online at Amazon, of course, place where I buy most things. All right, so we're gonna just take and put half of the zest in here, and we're gonna hold the rest because I wanna be able to, and we're gonna turn down the heat for sure. Now let's go on and squeeze out our lemon juice, okay? Another favorite tool of mine because it gets all the juice and it works beautifully. And I usually cut up my lemon and then put it in the drain. It makes it smell so good. All right, so let's just kind of stir this like so. Actually, we're gonna turn the heat completely off because I don't want it to stick, and it's like the perfect texture right now. And I'm gonna put this on a plate so that you'll be able to kind of see it. Actually, let's see if I could get a plate out and we'll scoop some out. To this, we're also going to add, this is kind of garlic butter. So got some nice garlic. Put that in there. Ooh, just delicious. Can you imagine lemon, garlic, butter? Now, I was not one who enjoyed eating Brussels sprouts, but I've just found so many amazing ways to cook it that it's just become one of my favorites. And then what we're gonna do, this is Parmesan cheese. We're gonna go on and put Parmesan cheese in there as well. And I'm gonna add a little bit more pepper and salt to this now that we have all the ingredients mixed up. And I'm gonna put some of this on a plate so you can see it. And like I said, feel free to add any kind of protein you might want to it. And here again, as I'm just kind of dashing here and there. If you're never sure how much, if you need a measurement, start with 1/4 teaspoon and do your thing that way. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I've got my plate, let me get my plate and let me get my scooper, and then we're going to, so I'm gonna move the camera just 1 second. Forgot to get out my handy dandy utensil here. So let's go in and scoop some out so you can see the texture. Ooh, look at that. Oh my God. And let me just say, it is so delicious, so delicious. So all you're gonna do after that is just add the rest of your zest. So just put a little bit of zest. I'm not gonna put much since I just have a little bit here. And you can then take your panko and put the amount that you want, makes it crunchy. And voila, here we go. Look at this beautiful spaghetti and Brussels sprouts with kind of this lemony flair to it, a little bit of spice, so it's a little hot. So, I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. So, of course, the show wouldn't be the show without a little taste. So we're gonna get our fork here. I had so much stuff here, I just didn't get everything out that I needed, but thank goodness for help. All right, let's take a little taste. Y'all, this is good. This is so good. I love the crunch. Make sure you toast those panko crumbs. And I mean, it just has the right amount of everything. So I hope this becomes a new side dish for you or main entree by adding some protein. Or again, if you're a vegetarian, you can eat this just like this as your entree. All right, I won't be rude and eat the rest of it in front of you. It is so incredibly delicious. Again, look in the description and you'll have all the ingredients and all the measurements that I use. This quantity here, if you're using it as an entree, I'm gonna say it would serve about 3 people, 3 adults is what this quantity. So if you need more or less, you know, you can take it and half it or increase it. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, I come out with an episode every other week, something that's simple, delicious, and a healthier version. This is certainly that. This, by the way, also was whole wheat pasta, so I did try to balance that out as well. But anyway, hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Like it, please share it on social media. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Take care, everybody.